who doesn't want 10% APY on crypto coins? What about 32% APY, 17%, and so on? The fact is staking is something that is considered as more of a passive thing into cryptocurrency. Anyways, my name is Craig Bennett, and this is going to be another cryptocurrency video. And one thing I want to note right here now, because of the legal reasons, is I am not a financial advisor, nor plan to ever become one. So take a risk on your own head, and this is meant for entertainment only. So as far as that goes, let's jump on into it. So this is going to be about staking and DeFi. And staking and DeFi is mostly a quote-unquote passive way of making money with cryptocurrency. Basically, just by holding the cryptocurrency, you get more. So the best way I can explain it is it's kind of like a dividend, except for you know it's going to happen and you know by the amount. And unlike the actual dividend where it gives you a dollar amount, it just gives you more shares. So in this case, basically, if I say, for example, hypothetically had 100 coins, whether that coin is worth $300 million or it's worth a third of a cent, it doesn't matter. If the APY is, say, 10%, then that means that I'm going to get 10 coins for the first year. Note that since you tend to get more coins than that, where you get rewarded, could be per second, per hour, per day, per week, per month, or more. The fact is you can actually make quite a bit in a very short time. So that's something that a lot of people may not at least recognize, and something that you probably should note, because it could make, in theory, quite a bit of money quite quickly. So if you take a look at this, but I'm just going to use Tron as an example, and this is staking itself. Is a lot of people do actually make money using this method. So let's say, for example, that we're talking about a 6% APY, which is about normal. Let's say, for example, you have $1 million. That means that you will be getting about $60,000 at the end of the day. Now, equivalent that to coins, whatever, great. But that's assuming that the price doesn't go up or down or anything else like that. Now, if the price goes up, so for example, let's say the price doubles, then that is automatically 120,000. If the price, halves, then that's 30,000 for that year. So just note that there is some risk when it comes to that, but you also have the opposite side of the negative, where you might make a pretty good fortune for that a little bit. So just note that. Now, notice that, obviously most people won't have that type of money, and you're only talking about like a couple $100, maybe $100, maybe even less than that, and you're trying to do your best at it. How I personally make quite a bit of money into here is actually by mixing the passive and active together. So with staking, you have a few different types of methods. So the first and the biggest is you can move your crypto to a wallet that you don't have control over. The reason why you would do that is probably because that's the only choice you have for staking for that particular type of coin. Note that not all coins you can stake. And the other reason is because you might have greater gains, or you might do a trick like I did. So in this case, we got a cold wallet. It only makes what it can. And a lot of the rewards are mostly the same. But in this case, we have stuff on a exchange. Why don't I have that on my cold wallet? Because I already do have some here. So why don't I have that on my cold wallet? Well, the fact is I can make more here. And it's fairly simple. Since it's looking at the 30-day accumulative effect, basically I don't need to have all that much. Basically, right now, we're looking at 950 coins in itself. And from what it's doing here is It's on a grid bot, so it's real passive as long as like I got the numbers right. And I might adjust this once in a while, but it's pretty much passive, and it's aiming for small gains, and it's added up to a little bit. So we're not even doing a full month, and we're looking at around $225 gain. So let's go assume that a month goes by and just keep math easy, about $300, which is quite realistic. Probably it's going to get higher than that from this deal. Let's take a look at this number, and let's just go and again keep math easy. Say 8,000 coins on the cumulative hold. So then let's just say a 8%. That's 64 divided by 12, and then that's I think it's like a 1.1. So that's a 58. Say $58. Let's go $300 for the gain per month, and so I can either go with a $58 gain just holding it, or I can go for a $358 gain for that month. Which one would you choose? So, and note that this is a cumulative effect, a compounding effect. Basically, the more you get, the more it will make. So, and then with that, with the funds, you can even buy even more, which increase that. So you can even have a more of a compounding effect into itself. So yeah, I mean, it goes up fairly fast. And note that that's, month by month. So by the end of the year, you're realistically going to be a little bit higher than that. So probably about 12, 13, maybe even 15% at the end of things. So it's a significant amount. And not a lot is in risk, because I don't even hold a lot of the coins at any given point in time. It just looks at how many I have per that hour and go from there. And in fact, I don't even have enough money in any of my accounts to cover that full amount. But because of how the bot works, and it's looking at an hour, all that stuff, it kind of works in my favor by far. So yeah, that's something to note into itself. Now, of course, when you look at certain things, like say, for example, like right here, should you just hold it into something like Coinbase or whatever? If you're just holding it to hold it, I would say no. But and unless if the reward is extremely higher, but as it is, if you just got there and not really sure what to do, it is worthwhile to note that you can do stuff like that. Now, again, in some cases, like in this case, I don't have a choice, and my only choice is something like this, and I can go with a 32% APY, but I don't really have access to the coins, and I give up the permission to it. So note that when it comes to staking, look at your risk level. Now, as far as staking goes, when you don't use the exchange and have to apply to all the rules, some coins, just by having them, they will stake on its own. You can claim it and do whatever. Just note the fees and whatnot. And it will accumulate over time. But then you have things like this where you have to vote, and depending on who you deal with, it is depending on how much you get, and you're just going to have to do research onto that. But one big thing to note is most of your coins you're going to have to freeze, and what that means is you cannot move them out of the wallet or use them in anything other than what they're being used for at the time, at least the amount that you're staking. Obviously, some like this you can move in and out as much as you want, and note that some you cannot move out of the wallet, or you can't unfreeze up to a certain amount. Sometimes it's even for the first time you're staking, you have to wait like 40 days on some coins, and then after that you don't have to wait again. So note that there's rules to each one on how staking works. Now, getting into DeFi. DeFi is basically the same. One big thing to note when it comes to that is I honestly don't like it, because you're going to pay gas fees. Unless you got a significant amount of money to throw into it, it tends not to be worthwhile. at least from my viewpoint. Basically, with Ethereum, I'm going to use this as an example. Basically, I wanted to move funds into here to do whatever. Great. 32 DAI, which is about $32, and it wanted me to pay $45 in gas fees just to do that. It's a bit ridiculous. So it should be noted that because gas fees are extremely expensive as of late, it might not be a good method to do it, especially when you get the same type of averages in other methods. Now, of course, if you believe a certain coin is going to skyrocket, then that's one thing. But if you're just doing it just for that, then there's obviously better options out there. I mean, this is a pretty good option into itself. But anyways, how staking or how lending works, DeFi works, is basically you lend out your coins to a pool. The other side, the borrowers, borrow the coins, take a loan out, pay the coins back, and also interest whenever they're done, and you make money. Just note that since you're dealing with smart contracts, there has been some not favorable stuff on the lender side. In some cases where the lenders lose all their money. So yeah, it's a bit more risky in my opinion when it comes to that versus staking. And in a lot of cases, again, it used to be that you can make a lot of money doing this, and it's not as much today. Note that there is plenty of places to do DeFi with, so you might find something that's very much worthwhile. Feel free to leave a link, and I'll take a look at it myself. But for the most part, you'll find that it's all pretty much averaged out. It's the same as staking. So it's kind of one of those things that if you believe the coin's going to take off, great. If not, then there's honestly better ways to do this stuff, and even cheaper ways. Anyways, as far as that goes, that's pretty much about it. It's, hold and make money type of situation. It's fairly straightforward. Just note that as far as things goes, pick however you want to do it. If you want to do something like this and have bots trade for you, great. If you want to hold it into exchanges, great. If you don't want to hold it into any exchange, great. This needs to be something that you need to research thoroughly. But one big thing I would note is if you're going to hold a coin anyways, see if you can stake it and see if you can make a little bit more money at the end of the day versus not at all. But anyways, as far as that goes, this has been Craig Bennett, and hopefully it's helped you out and understand this. And if you do have any questions or want me to get in a little bit more detail in certain areas, then feel free to let me know. And leave a like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next video. Have a great day.